Welcome to Advice for Wisdom, a place where love embraces knowledge. Have you ever experienced the exhaustion of consistently being the first to reach out? You send a text, anticipating a response, perhaps even a small effort from her, but instead, silence envelops you. Then, questions begin to surface. Is she truly interested? Am I pursuing someone who doesn't care? Suddenly, what began as hope transforms into doubt. Here's the hard truth. You're not alone in this feeling, but more importantly, you're not stuck in it either. See, we've been taught to believe that relationships should be about effort, and they should. But what happens when the effort only comes from you, when it feels like you're carrying the entire higher connection on your back? Most people will tell you to play it cool, to stop texting, and to wait for her to notice your absence. But we're not here to talk about games. We're here to talk about self-respect, because Stoicism teaches us that peace of mind doesn't come from controlling others. It comes from mastering yourself. So if you're tired of chasing someone who never seems to meet you halfway, keep listening. This isn't about ghosting or manipulation. It's about understanding your worth, setting boundaries, and showing up as your most confident, grounded self. All right, are you ready? Let's dive. Step back and reevaluate. Most people don't want to hear this, but someone's lack of effort doesn't show how much they value you. It shows what's most important to them. Giving reasons for her silence is a common mistake. Stoicism teaches us an important principle. Perhaps she's simply busy. Perhaps she's going through something. Perhaps she doesn't text much. We've all been there. Or perhaps she doesn't want to face reality because it hurts too much. Don't picture how you want things to be. See them as they are. Seneca once said, "Truth rarely pleases, it often shocks." And here's the truth. If she's not consistently checking in, reaching out, or keeping the connection alive, it's not because she's too busy or forgot. It's because she's not prioritizing you. I know that hurts, but here's the thing. When you accept reality as it is, you're free. You stop chasing dreams. You stop wasting time and energy on someone who isn't meeting you halfway, and you stop giving so much of yourself to someone who isn't giving back. So what should you do? Take a step back, take a deep breath, and don't overthink her actions. Just watch them. Has she consistently left you on read mode? Does she only reply when you text first? Does she always put in the effort? You don't need to speculate or decipher hidden meanings to understand these patterns. Her actions, or lack thereof, send the clearest message, and when you step back and look at things clearly, you realize it's never been about you. This connection is more important to you than her, so her lack of effort doesn't mean you're bad or doing anything wrong. Now you can either keep chasing, overextending, and giving more than you're receiving, or give that energy to someone who will match your effort. It's not about playing games. It's about understanding. Stoics believe that you can achieve peace of mind by controlling only what you can control. Instead of her actions or effort, you can control your reaction and energy. Take a step back, watch what she does, and tell yourself of this simple truth. Your worth doesn't depend on what other people do. It depends on how much you respect yourself. When you stop chasing unappreciative people, you make room for appreciative ones. Laughter, and match her energy. Okay, so you've stepped back, stopped overthinking her behavior, and accepted what's really going on. Now comes the tricky part. Many of you may be wondering, will she forget about me if I don't text her? This worry may prompt you to send her another text, but it's important to stop at this point. To be clear, this isn't about games, hard to get, or making her chase you. It's about self-respect. If you've been the one always reaching out and starting things, and she's never taken the first step, it's time to match her energy. What does that mean? It means pulling back, not to punish her or make her miss you, but to remind yourself that you deserve both of your efforts, because if someone values the connection, they'll show it, and if they don't, their silence will tell you everything you need to know. Epictetus once said that what bothers us is not what it is, but how we think about it. What's hurting you is not her lack of effort, but how you're reading it. You're seeing her silence as a rejection. You're seeing it as a sign that you're not good enough. But the reality is, her actions, or lack of them, have nothing to do with your worth. They're simply a reflection of her priorities. So instead of chasing after someone who isn't matching your effort, pull back and focus on your own peace of mind. I know it's tempting to keep the conversation going, to send that next message, to fill the silence with something, anything. But what does that really achieve? If she's not making an effort, now your extra texts won't magically change that. Instead, give her space. Let her notice your absence. And this is important. Don't do it as a manipulation tactic. Do it as a statement of your own worth. Because here's the thing. If she values the connection, she'll feel your absence and reach out. If she doesn't, you've just saved yourself from pouring energy into someone who has never truly invested in you. Either way, you win. Think of it like a mirror. If you're constantly reflecting effort, attention, and care towards someone who isn't reflecting it back, what happens? You get exhausted, you feel drained. But when you pull back and simply match the energy you're receiving, you regain your balance. You remind yourself that your time, attention, and effort are valuable, and you're not going to give them away to someone who doesn't appreciate them. This shift can be challenging at first, especially when you've been the one maintaining order. It can even feel scary to step back. But once you do, you'll notice something powerful. You're calmer, less nervous, and you're no longer waiting by your phone for a message that might never come. You're not waiting by your phone for a message that might never come because your peace of mind is no longer dependent on what she does. And let me tell you that quiet confidence and self-assurance is magnetic. People can tell when someone values themselves and respects their own time and energy, and that energy attracts the right people and keeps the wrong ones away. So match your energy, take a step back, and trust that the right connections will come your way. Let go of your expectations halfway through number 3. Let go of goals. Let's be honest for a second. A lot of your frustration is with your expectations, not her behavior. Since she didn't text to check in and make plans, you started to wonder if she thought you were worthless, if she didn't care about you, and worst of all, what was wrong with you. But Stoicism teaches us the truth. You need to let go of the expectation you have of her. What's making you angry is not what she does, but what you expect from her. We control our minds, not our surroundings, he said. You will find strength if you understand this. You can't change whether she texts first, but you can change how you view her behavior. Consider, when she texts, you may think she doesn't care about you, but is that true, or just a lie you're telling yourself? Here's a mindset shift that can change everything. Instead of focusing on whether she texts first, pay attention to how she responds when you do. Does she seem pleased to hear from you? Does she engage in the conversation? Does she make time for you when you suggest a meeting? Despite the fact that not everyone is adept at initiating conversations, they show warmth, responsiveness, and genuine interest when you approach them. Texters sometimes have low energy, short responses, and actions that don't match their words. Therefore, consider whether your focus on who texts first is causing you to overlook the broader picture. A genuine relationship isn't a competition where you need to monitor who sent the first text, proposed a handshake, or initiated contact. It's about being consistent, mutual respect, and working together. If she doesn't text first but responds when you do, that tells you something. If she never texts first and her answers feel cold or uninterested, That also tells you something. Detach from the need to control how things unfold. Detach from the idea that she has to text first for you to feel valued, because when you let go of those expectations, you free yourself from the emotional roller coaster of disappointment. Think of it like this: every time you expect her to behave a certain way and she doesn't, you hand over your peace of mind. You put your happiness in her hands, and that's a dangerous place to be. But when you detach, when you stop needing her to do something to validate your worth, you take your power back. Suddenly, you're not waiting for her text to feel good about yourself. You're not obsessing over what her silence means. Instead, you're grounded, calm, at peace, because your sense of self-worth isn't tied to someone else's actions. And here's the beautiful part. When you detach from expectations, you stop radiating neediness. You stop giving off that anxious energy of, why hasn't she texted me yet? Instead, you exude quiet confidence, and that energy, it's magnetic. People are naturally drawn to those who are grounded in themselves, who aren't constantly seeking validation from others. So let go of the scoreboard in your head. Stop keeping track of who texts first and focus on what truly matters. Mutual respect, shared effort, honest connection. When you let go of hopes, you gain peace of mind, which is worth more than any text message. Hello, it's been half an hour. Before we start the next lesson, may I ask for a quick favor? If you want to make sure you don't miss any of this channel's new videos, just hit the like button, subscribe, and notification bell. Thank you so much for your support. More importantly, you'll keep up with ideas that can make your relationships better and turn you into a high-value guy. I promise you that this kind of wisdom will forever change how you see yourself and how other people see you. Let's proceed immediately. Take care of your own growth. You've stepped back, stopped chasing, and let go of impossible goals in order to focus on your own growth. The most crucial step now is to focus on yourself. Let's face it, you can't control what other people do. You can't force her to text first, but you can control your own thoughts, actions, and personal growth. You can always do those things. Stoics believe that real strength doesn't come from controlling other people or outside circumstances, but from mastering yourself. As Seneca said, mastering yourself is the most powerful thing you can do, and that's what this step is all about. Instead of worrying about her silence, focus on mastering yourself. Use that energy for something more useful. Take care of your physical health, strengthen your mind, work on your emotional well-being. Why? Because confidence is magnetic, and the most attractive thing you can bring to any relationship isn't a perfectly worded text or a clever comeback. It's your inner peace. Imagine this. You've been waiting all day for her to text back. You've checked your phone more times than you can count, but instead of staring at that empty screen hoping for a notification, you decide to do something different. You hit the gym, you lace up your running shoes, and you push yourself to go that extra mile. Or maybe you dive into a project you've been putting off, painting, writing, learning a new skill, or you reconnect with friends. Spend time outdoors or suddenly pick up that book you've been meaning to finish. When you focus on your own growth, you become less reactive, less desperate for attention, and more grounded in yourself. When someone loves themselves, doesn't need approval from others, has their own passions, goals, and life, it gives a strong message. Attractive people notice. People gravitate towards individuals who embody wholeness. Ask yourself this: would you rather be around someone who's always looking for reassurance, or someone who's calm, confident, and content with their own life? The answer is clear. So the next time you find yourself waiting for a text, a call, or for her to make a move, remind yourself that you don't need to wait for anyone to start living your life. Your time is valuable, your growth is important, and your peace of mind is priceless. The Stoics believed that life is about constantly improving yourself and becoming the best version of yourself, not for other people, but for yourself. The best part is that when you're deeply invested in your own growth, you naturally attract the right people and weed out the wrong ones. You'll understand something important. It doesn't matter if she texts you back or not. Your happiness doesn't come from her attention. It comes from inside you. Number 5. Freedom. Talk to people. Talk to people. Since we're being honest, let's talk about something that most people try to avoid. You might think it's easy. Just say what's on your mind. But in today's dating world, being honest can feel like a risk because we live in a world full of mixed signals, subtle games, and unspoken expectations. Everyone strives to maintain a calm demeanor and fears overstepping boundaries. But let me ask you this. Isn't it tiring to constantly guess what the other person is thinking? Isn't it exhausting to constantly speculate about the other person's thoughts and feelings? Attempting to interpret each text, each response time, and each emoji is a daunting task. The truth is that all of those mind games cause more stress than clarity if her lack of effort is bothering you. It's one-sided, so why not discuss it directly? But here's the key. Do it with cool interest, not anger. Let me give you an example of what that looks like. Let's say you're seeing someone, and you've noticed that you're always the one who texts first. It's starting to bother you. Instead of remaining angry or withdrawing without a reason, you engage in a conversation with her in which you say, "Hey, I really enjoy spending time with you, but I've noticed I'm usually the one who reaches out first. I just want to make sure we're both equally interested in simple H-direct." Let's be honest. Engaging in such a conversation requires courage, but it also demonstrates a high level of self-respect, as you're not attempting to deceive her or cause her discomfort. You're simply seeking clarity. And clarity it's freeing. If she's genuinely interested, she'll appreciate your honesty. She'll respect the fact that you value you. Open communication, and if she's not interested, well, at least now, you know you've taken control of the situation. You've taken control of your peace of mind. Think about it this way. Wouldn't you rather know where you stand than waste time wondering? Too often we avoid honest conversations because we're afraid of the outcome we tell ourselves. What if she pulls away? But here's the reality. If someone pulls away because you expressed how you feel, they were never truly invested to begin with. And here's what's even more important. Having these conversations isn't just about getting clarity from her. It's about reinforcing your own boundaries. It's about telling yourself, I deserve mutual effort. I deserve honesty. And I'm not afraid to ask for it. That's what makes this step so powerful. When you communicate openly and directly, you stop walking on eggshells. You stop living in a state of uncertainty. And trust me, that kind of directness, it's rare, it's refreshing, and it's incredibly attractive because at the end of the day, people crave authenticity. No one wants to feel like they're part of a game by being open and honest. You show that you're mature, confident, and self-assured, and you know what? The right person will appreciate that the wrong person will pull away. And that's a blessing in disguise because your peace of mind is too valuable to waste on people who aren't willing to meet you halfway. So what's stopping you from having that conversation? Remember that a Stoic doesn't avoid pain. They face it head on. Marcus truly stated, if it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it. So speak your truth and ask for clarity. And no matter what happens, you'll be stronger, calmer, and more sure of your own self-worth. That kind of peace is priceless, willing to walk. Despite your patience, understanding, and willingness to accommodate her, the imbalance persists, and frankly, it's exhausting. At some point, the weight of a one-sided connection will become too heavy to bear. At that point, you must ask yourself, how much more am I willing to give without receiving anything in return? This isn't about playing the victim or blaming her or anyone else. It's about taking responsibility for your time, energy, and worth. Marcus Aurelius said, "It is not fitting to value what is not in your power." You can't change her actions, make her care more, or make her put in the same amount of effort as you, but you can choose whether to keep putting effort into a relationship that isn't giving you anything in return. Sometimes the best thing you can do is to walk away. It's not about giving up, slamming doors, or burning bridges to realize that your worth doesn't depend on getting someone to see it. If she refuses to compromise, it doesn't indicate your value. Rather, it suggests she has other priorities. A lot of people stay in situations where they don't feel valued because they're afraid to let go. People who are afraid to walk away think, "What if I don't find anyone better or worse? What if she changes her mind once I leave?" But ask yourself this: which is more important, holding on to someone who doesn't care or focusing on yourself? Walking away isn't about closing a door forever. It's about opening yourself up to better opportunities. This is because holding on to a negative relationship blocks new, fulfilling ones. Imagine you're holding a cup that's already full of frustration, disappointment, and unmet expectations. You're waiting for someone to fill your cup with what you really need. Quitting something you don't like empties your cup and makes room for improvement. Here's the beautiful part. When you walk away from something that's not meant for you, you send a powerful message to the universe and to yourself. I know my worth, and I'm not willing to accept less than I deserve. That kind of self-respect is rare, and trust me, people will notice. The right people will recognize your value and approach you with the same energy, effort, and desire to build something meaningful, while the wrong people will fade away, which is actually a blessing. Walking away requires courage, but it will be one of the most liberating decisions you've ever made. When you let go of something that's draining you, you gain something priceless: peace of mind. That peace is worth more than any text, apology, or empty promise. So if you're at that crossroads and have tried to connect with her but she's not meeting you halfway, ask yourself, am I holding on out of hope or habit? If the answer is habit, it's time to let go, because we need you to walk away. You're not closing a door, you're opening yourself up to everything and everyone who's been waiting to walk. In the end, there is one timeless truth at the heart of Stoicism. You can choose to have peace of mind. It doesn't matter if she texts first, how often she calls, or what her silence means. When you focus on your own growth, when you match someone's energy instead of overextending, when you communicate honestly and leave behind what no longer serves you, you reclaim your power. You stop seeking approval and tying your worth to their actions, and you become something much stronger, grounded, confident, and unshakable. That kind of quiet self-assurance doesn't go unnoticed. It's magic. It attracts the right people and keeps out the ones who don't belong. So ask yourself what one step you're going to take today to reclaim your peace. Whatever it is, make sure you stick to it, and remember to stay strong and focused. Always stay true to your principles. You'll come to the realization that you are sufficient one day. If this resonated with you, continue your journey by subscribing. Check out more of our videos, and let's keep going on this Stoic journey together. Remember that life isn't about chasing, it's about living fully and letting attraction flow naturally. Leave a comment below with your thoughts or ideas for future videos. Let's build a community full of wisdom and peace together. See you in the next video.